Hey everyone. I wanted to talk about auto loans and cars in general because they've gotten pretty out of hand and pretty ridiculous this year. So, just this year, the new average monthly car payment is $750 per month. That's a lot for just the average car payment. And I've done the math. If you were to invest that money, $750 a month, into an account to grow with an 8% rate of return, you would have $67,213 in 6 years. Now, I don't know obviously the math on a car, but let's say you bought a 40, say $50,000 car. In 6 years, that $50,000 car is probably going to be worth 30,000 at best, maybe, maybe 25,000. Well, could be worse. It really just depends on the brand and the model of the car, but you get the idea. What I'm saying is, it's just that money could be so much better used for your future. And another thing I think that's crazy is I feel like no one really drives beater cars anymore. Sure, there are people out there that do, but I feel like the vast majority of people either go buy a brand new car or at least something only a couple years old and they're going to finance it. When, and also people might say that it's too hard to find a beater car out there, but I would disagree. I myself drive a 2004 Ford Crown Victoria. It was a two-owner car in fantastic condition for $3,000. I've had it for about 2 years now, and it's been a great car. It's done right by me. I've done basic maintenance. I've had a couple things with some suspension and different things that I've had to spend a little extra money on, but at the end of the day, I don't have a car payment. I have a car that I spent $3,000 on. So, for the people that think you can't find those cars, I would just say you just need to do your research. You need to research what kind of car you first. You need to know what kind of car you want and research those cars before you even start looking at them for sale. And you have to look for the right one, and it'll take time. You have to look through them. If it looks too beat up or like it's just really been abused, then you skip that one. And it's gonna take time. It took me about a month to find my car. So I'm not saying it won't take time. It's not going to be a fast process as, say, walking into a dealership and walking out with a car the same day. But in the long run, it can save you so much time and money from doing that initial research and taking the time to find the right one for you. I love cars. I really do. Especially older cars. I love their quirks. I love the cool things that automakers used to do. I used to have an older Lexus LS430. I think it's insane the amount of technology they put into that car for the time. And I'm not saying you have to buy the cheapest bare bones Honda Civic out there, but I definitely think you can still find a fun, practical car under 10,000 that is still reliable and gets you from point A to point B. If you're dead set on financing a car, or maybe you just need to finance a car, I get it. Not everybody can go out and say spend eight, nine, $10,000 cash on a car. I understand that. I get it. I just have some tips and things that may help you. They may or may not. I'm not sure, but this is what I think. For starters, is whatever you think you can afford monthly on a car, for if you can 3 to 6 months, set that money aside, put it in a savings account, and see how much that actually affects you. I don't care what the dealership or the bank says you can afford. take it. If it's a $400 a month car payment, go 3 or 4 months, setting aside $400 and see how bad that hurts you every month. And if it's not, you barely even feel it, then maybe that's the right thing to do. Now, having said that, you should not focus on just the monthly car payment. When you walk into a dealership, most of the time they'll ask you, what do you want your payment to be? And they're really just trying to trap you with that. They're trying to get you to avoid the overall cost. They just want to, they know, okay, if I get him for $400 a month, we're good. It doesn't matter what the car costs total. So you need to always ask what that car costs. How much is this car? And you need to look at the fine print. You need to see what are they adding onto it. Are they putting any add-ons? Are they adding warranties or something? What all are they doing? And you need to take your time. Remember, you have the upper hand here. They want to make a sale. So take your time, see what that is, research, look for other dealerships with the same car or people selling that same car and see how much they are. Are they about the same as what this dealership is asking for? And also research the car that you're going to buy. Make sure it has no known major issues or problems that are going to cause you headaches later on down the road. And another thing you can do that I think is great is after you pay off that car, take that monthly payment and keep putting that into an account somewhere. And so that by the time you need to replace that car or want to get a different car, you can pay for it in cash or at least have a very high down payment to put down. Let's talk interest rates. Now, everybody I think is going to have a different number they're comfortable with when they're financing anything, but also especially a car. It's the second biggest purchase you're going to make in besides a house. And I think it largely depends on your credit and how long you're financing for, how much you're putting down. Me personally, I wouldn't want to finance a car above 6%. Now, not everyone has that luxury, I get it. But to me, any higher than that, and you really should look into buying cash or financing for the least amount of time possible to get out of that, or making extra payments to get out of that as quick as possible. And also, like I said, 6% is the max I would want to do, but personally, I think you should try to get even lower than that if you can. Obviously, the goal would be to pay cash, but not everybody can do that. Even myself, it's just doing your research. And also, one of the biggest things you can do is getting pre-approved. You don't need to go through the dealership's bank. They will normally try to get you to do that, but go to your own bank before you go to the dealership and go to a credit union, get pre-approved and see what interest rate they'll give you. So when you walk in there, you can show them, hey, look, I've already been pre-approved by blah 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 credit union for 6.9%. So unless you can beat that, that's where I'm going to go to finance this car. Talking about cars themselves and what kind of car you need, right? As Americans, almost no one buys the car they need, right? We have so much of our personality tied up in cars. So we want to buy something that expresses our views and our personality, and I get it. And like I said, I love cars and I totally understand it. But there's something that I read, and I'll go into a video about some great finance books, but something I read from Morgan Housel's book, which is a great author. He did The Art of Spending Money and the Psychology of Money. Fantastic books. You should definitely check them out. But he talks about how he used to be a valet. And there was a guy that would come in and he had an amazing, awesome car, like a Porsche or Ferrari, something like that. Really cool car, right? But the thing is, everyone was staring at the car. Everyone was looking at the car. that guy thought it made him look cool, but it didn't, because nobody really cared about the guy behind the wheel of the car. They just cared about the car itself. And I've always found that that just really struck me, and really kind of made me stop and think about it. Like, am I buying this car for me? Am I buying this car to look a certain way or give off a certain, you know, a certain vibe or something that people are gonna look at it and go like, oh wow, look at that Escalade, that's cool, something like that. And so I just think it's really good to think about, why am I buying this type of car? Do I need these certain trim packages? Do I need this or that, or these features, or am I just buying it because I'm getting caught up? Let's talk about warranties. Now, I think obviously the manufacturer's warranties are fantastic. Normally, you'll get a 3 year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper, or, and it totally depends on the brand, like a 5 year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. That's great, but especially if you are financing, you're gonna go to I believe it's the finance manager, or to finance, into their office, and they are going to bring out a sheet and talk to you about warranties. And obviously, this is totally up to you. These are all like normally third-party extended warranties, right? They can cover like electronics, they can cover door dings or windshields or tires and things like that. And this is totally up to you. But I am strongly against them. They are normally thousands of dollars, sometimes just for one extended warranty, and you really need to read the fine print. They normally have a ton of loopholes to get out of having to cover the things that they're supposed to cover. One example for us is on our car, when we were buying our car. This was around COVID time. I'm sure everybody knows how lovely it was to buy a car around that time. And I didn't want any of the warranties, but my wife really wanted the windshield warranty. And in this car, it has one of the safety features to auto stop, so they have to calibrate the sensors, and replacing the windshield can be a headache, right? And so we did purchase this warranty, and just so happened, on a road trip, a short road trip, we got a rock that hit the windshield and it chipped it. No big deal normally, right? Well, this chip turned into a crack, and over the few days, it slowly spread and took up about half the windshield. By the time we got to the dealership and we told them, hey, we have this warranty, let's use it, the third party warranty company said, well, in the fine print, it doesn't cover any cracks larger than 12 inches. Mind you, like I said, this has spread now. It went down into the side and covered, at this point, more than half the windshield. So this warranty that we had spent, I can only assume, I know it was well over $1,000, probably over $2,000 on, was pointless. We spent money on a warranty for a thing that they weren't even going to fix. Thankfully, the dealership felt so terrible that this warranty company wasn't covering this, and they didn't want to look bad. They wanted to stand behind their brand. They covered it for us because they knew what was going on. And I will say they were fantastic. We loved this dealership. They had amazing customer service, and I have nothing but great things to say about them. But just be very careful if you're financing a car when you get to buying extended warranties. Read the fine print and just know what you're getting into, and just make sure you cover your bases. Lastly, I just want to say I wish the best for everyone, especially if you're looking and you have to find yourself a new car right now. I hope that any of my mistakes or my tips can help you, even if it's just one person out there. I really hope for this to help someone. My goal, again, for the channel is to help people learn and grow with me and hopefully just do better financially and set yourself up for your future, whether that's for yourself or your children or whoever that may be. And I just really hope this can help someone.